Suprabhatam friends, welcome to my channel Plants and Me. This is Dr. Sridevi from Mangaluru, Karnataka, India. A few of my Hoyas, which are there with me for about 1.5 years, they were not thriving. So I thought I will take a look at the root system and then repot them. Usually in my videos I would be saying always that I am not a big fan of COCOPEAT. So today I would like to show you why I hate COCOPEAT. This is Hoya Rotundufolia. Look at the rhomboid leaves. They are squarish. This is one of the rare Hoyas. This plant is with me for the past 1.5 years, and that time I had repotted this Hoya in COCOPEAT, and look at this COCOPEAT. There is so much of moisture. Look at the water which is oozing out. This is the reason why I do not like COCOPEAT. This has started rotting, and because of that it is holding so much moisture. While repotting I had put these charcoal chunks. Perlite I wasn't having, and I wasn't a big fan of perlite also at that time. Fern is growing here. So I am going to repot this Hoya Rotundufolia. I'll retain this pot. This pot is a big nice pot, but I would be giving this plant a chunky mix. This is Hoya Archboldiana, and this also will be getting repotted today. This also has the same COCOPEAT in it. Again, so much of moisture is there in this. It had this charcoal chunks, and the COCOPEAT has already started rotting. So this is also going to be repotted today. When COCOPEAT becomes this color, it's time to change the potting mix. It is rotting, and COCOPEAT, when it starts rotting, it holds a lot of moisture. I'll start with the repotting. I would first repot this beautiful Hoya Rotundufolia. I'll remove it from the pot. I had put this name tag. I will let it be. Let us see how the roots are, because the COCOPEAT was too wet. I think I'll remove this. Yes. I'm removing the plant from the potting mix. Oh my God. Look at the roots. I'm lucky that the plant has survived in this. Rotundufolia is actually a plant which loves water, but look at this coconut powder, COCOPEAT. Yesterday it has not rained and this coco peat is holding so much of water. My God, I am truly lucky that the plant has survived in this soggy type of mixture. I'll just throw this. There are good drainage holes at the base. Luckily the roots are okay. There has been no root rot as such. Otherwise, with that much water in the potting mix, the plant would suffer root rot. I am not removing this coconut chunk. Coco peat I would be removing completely. For such a big vine, the root system is very less. That is because of the coco peat. It's always said better late than never. Good that I am repotting it. This has been my favorite Hoya. I think the plant has given off an offshoot and it has rooted in that coco peat. This is a 5-inch pot. I'll have to prepare a mix enough to hold the pot. So this much is enough. To this I will add pumice powder, about half, and about half the vermicompost. I'm mixing all this. I am adding a teaspoon of Epsom salt. And half teaspoon of antifungal. When coconut chunk is used as the potting mix, pumice powder is not necessary, but I add it as a precaution. I am placing the plant. Repotting is done. I'll put back the hanger. Next in line is this Hoya Archboldiana. I'll remove this hanger. Oh my god. This plant was really suffering. Look at the roots. Again, in this case, I have been very lucky that this plant has survived. Look at the water. Hoyas don't like soggy mix. This is too soggy. Oh, it has started rotting. The cocoa peat has started rotting. And when you can make a ball of something, that means it is too sticky. Usually I use leca under the root system so that it doesn't rot. But these are well developed and this plant is old. That's why I am not using leca under these plants. This is coconut chunk I am not removing. And this is all cocoa peat that I am removing. The plant has not done well. It is not thriving also because of that cocoa peat. There was lots of water, so the plant must have gone into so much of stress. These roots have thinned out. I think if I had not repotted, it would have undergone root rot. Oh, this chunk came off. Archboldiana has got lovely flowers and I have been waiting for those blooms, but poor plant, it is under stress, which I never realized. It is about 1.5 year old plant, but the growth is not enough for that 1.5 year old plant, and that was because of the cocoa peat which was rotting. This Hoya Mathilde has been with me again for the past almost 2 years. You can see the lovely growth here on this Mathilde. It had bloomed for me once, but out of the many peduncles, only one peduncle bloomed. This is the new growth. But what I find is it put out a new growth, but this has gone dry. Similarly, there is one more point. Look at this. Insects have built their house. There is one more vine which has gone dry. The growth point has gone dry. Here also growth point has gone dry. So that indicates that there is something wrong with the root system of this Mathilde. Quite a bit of new growth has come there, but the tips of the growing vines are going dry. So let us see the roots. I will remove this plant from this pot. It had come in this pot. I couldn't change the pot because it started growing. It's a very prolific grower, grows very fast. It started growing very fast and it put out peduncles after it came to me within 6 months, but those peduncles were aborted. They did not bloom. I will remove this from this pot. I will remove these hangers. Let us see the roots. Oh wow, very well developed roots. It is in fact root bound, but what is this? That is fungus. There has been vermiculite at the base. This is vermiculite. Pieces of vermiculite. The potting mix consists of this pumice powder, vermiculite powder, COCOPEAT. It came in this potting mix and as I said I couldn't change it. This is totally root bound. There are some insects also going about. If I retain this, then there will be this waterlogging. I'll remove a bit of this COCOPEAT. The roots are okayish. They are not very healthy, but okay. This is one plant, this is another plant. Two plants are there. In fact, three. 1, 2, and 3. 3 plants with good roots. Fungus again. So there are another 2 plants here. This is Hoya Meridiai. This also will be getting repotted. Lovely leaves. and this Hoya Meridiai. Now we'll see the health of this meredithii. It's a rare plant. It loves water and thrives well in a lots of water. I'll remove this hanger. It had come with this broken leaf. I don't mind, but it has given out good growth. But again here it had given out this vine, but it dried off from this tip. Again this new growth has dried off. So we need to check the health of the roots. This pot was very difficult to manage also, because this is so flexible. Okay, the roots are good, well grown. I had put this vermicompost at the top. I separated as much cocoa peat I could. Still lots is there sticking to the root system. Root system is good, well developed. I am giving it this pot. It has got drainage holes at the base. They are very small, but 4 drainage holes are there, and I am not going to cover those drainage holes. I am still not happy with this. Lots of cocoa peat is there. I washed the roots and removed all the cocoa peat. Whatever is sticking here, that is the coconut chunk. Now I am happy. Looks lovely. This is done now. This is the next one, Hoya Meridiai. This is why the plant has not been thriving. The root system has not developed at all. This is Hoya Meridiai. I always keep telling in my videos that I am not a big fan of cocoa peat. So we saw that cocoa peat retains a lot of water, especially when it undergoes rotting. It degenerates. It's a plant product. It's the husk of coconut. It's a plant product. Obviously, it will undergo degeneration. Once it gets broken down, it itself leaves lot of water, and Mangalore, being a coastal area, gets huge amount of rains. This cocoa peat gets soaked up completely in that rainwater, and that helps in making the rotting process a little more fast. Once coco peat starts rotting, it holds on a lot of water too. And when the coco peat starts holding water, roots undergo stress at the beginning and then they start rotting. We saw that in Mathilde, the tip of the vines they were drying. That is because the root system is not healthy. When you see the plant itself, we can make out that the plant is in stress. The vines which they put out, if they don't grow, or the tip of the stems when they are drying up, the leaves when they are yellowing, all these are the signs that the plant is having stress. We need to repot them. We need to open up the pot, take out the plant, examine the root system, and if it needs repotting, then repot it. I repotted my Hoyas today because they were under stress. We saw the root system was not at all good, especially the meredithii. My kitty wants to come into the camera. Hi kitty. See, there, camera is there. One more observation which I have made is for the coastal weather where it gets huge rainfall, there coconut chunks should be the choice of potting mix for Hoyas rather than coco peat. If we compare the coco peat and coconut chunks, coco peat is the powder, so the pieces will be very small and obviously it will undergo rotting very fast. Coconut chunk will also rot, that also is a plant product, but the pieces are big, the chunks are big, it will take longer time for rotting. Not only this, time to time we have to keep checking the potting mix of any plant for that matter. These Hoyas, as I said, they were around 1.5 to 2 years old. Meredithii is almost 2 years old. I never felt that the plant is not thriving. I thought it is slow growing plant, so it is not growing. But the situation was completely different. I have repotted all those plants which needed repotting. I have kept them again in the west side of my house where they get direct sunlight from afternoon onwards. Watering schedule etc. would be the same as I keep telling. Watering in summer twice a week, in winter once a week or in 10 days. Direct sunlight from 2 to 4 p.m. So that was the repotting of my favorite Hoyas, and I have been very lucky because they have survived all that stress. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye. You can see the difference between this old coco peat and the new coco peat. This is new. I have put some other plant in this. This is light brown and this is dark brown.